Dear animals, I did not always know the harm that I caused you, and it took some time for me to care. I've always had pets. I've loved them all, and it broke my heart when they passed. I took such good care of them. They were members of the family. And yet there were millions of other animals I didn't think about. Millions that would spend their lives crammed up in a cage, or a barn, or maybe if they're lucky, a small paddock. Millions of animals who would live short, miserable lives, animals that would get no veterinary assistance because of the cost. Millions of animals that would later end up on someone's plate. I'm sorry I didn't hear your screams. In December 2013, I watched a 10-minute video called Meet Your Meat. I was taken aback. These were the animals I was eating, the lives I was taking every single day by purchasing their lifeless, dismembered body parts. How could I possibly continue to support such an atrocity? And that's where my journey started. On December 22nd, 2013, I became vegetarian. I never looked back. It took me about 2 weeks to get over meat. Fast forward 6 months. I started to learn about the atrocities in the dairy industry. I heard about how baby cows were taken from their mothers, ripped apart from them when they were so young because humans wanted their milk. Sadly, I pushed it to the back of my mind. I ignored you, beautiful cows. I didn't listen to your screams, to the screams of a mother crying out for her child. I am ashamed and I can only apologise now. Cows weren't the only animals I was still abusing. Chickens also felt the pain of my greed. I didn't know about the crushing of male chicks until about a year ago. I went along my merry way. I felt it was terrible that they were crammed up into cages their entire lives. So I made the commitment to buy free range and even sometimes free range organic. Then later, I learned of the crushing of male chicks. It was horrible. I saw the video. They just went into a grinder because they were of no use to the industry. Something so beautiful turned into a pile of blood. And yet, despite the knowledge of all this suffering, it didn't stop me from consuming eggs for another 6 months. I am so sorry to all those beautiful chicks that suffered because of my selfishness. I had cut back on my dairy and egg consumption dramatically in the year leading up to veganism. I was having almond milk in my cereal and I barely even consumed eggs anymore. That wasn't enough. Causing a lot less suffering is still causing suffering. I was a hypocrite. I loved animals and I could never eat them, but I was still causing them pain. I was conflicted because I didn't want to change and give up so many things, but my heart would not be satisfied until I did what I knew was right for so long. Finally, on the 1st of January 2016, I decided to fully commit to trying veganism for a month. I could do this challenge. I had already cut down my consumption dramatically. I can do this for a month. It was about halfway through the month-long challenge that I decided that this was it. I had a date with another vegan and we talked about the animals and our love for them. And I just felt this is what I must do and continue to do for the rest of my life. The animals deserved better. They all deserve to live happy lives. I've only been vegan for 6 months. I'm sorry I didn't change sooner, animals. I truly am. I'm sorry I was so obstinate. I see you now. I hear you and I feel your pain. I could never go back to hurting you the way I did again. One last thing. I promise to spread the message of love and compassion for all creatures. The message that using animals is not only unnecessary, but it is wrong. The message that everyone should go vegan. I hope you'll forgive me. I love you all.